Welcome into another episode of Three's a Crowd. I'm Preston Vargas alongside Eli Atwood. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. We reached 90 subscribers as of yesterday, so big milestone there for us.
Big one for sure.
But we want to get to 100 by the time we fill out our brackets, which is on Sunday. It's unlikely that we get there, but I think we'll get there by the final four. So we'll put up that link in the description for our bracket challenge. Don't forget to go there, join our bracket challenge. Link will be in the description. Anyway, so the start of free agency is as of we're filming this now, but the big news, Rashawn Gary is traded to the Cowboys for a fourth round pick. So Packers trading him away to the Cowboys. How does this move shape up for the Cowboys?
Yeah, I think it's a smart move for the Cowboys, bolster their D line, get a guy who's a veteran with some experience. I think it kind of works out well for both teams. Packers getting rid of a guy with a higher salary who just kind of added another DN last year, so
Yeah.
get some of that money off the table.
Also reunites him with Kenny Clark, who he played with the Packers for a little bit, but then he was traded in the Micah Parsons deal. I mean, I think this is a great move by the Cowboys. Like you said, bolsters up their D line. Their defense was a weak spot last year, especially after trading away Micah Parsons. But I think the main key for the Cowboys this offseason is to address their corners. Deron Bland got burned a lot, and their other corner didn't do much last year. I think if they shore up that, and I think they'll probably be a playoff contender next season. I'm not going to say they're going to be a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, exactly.
And then with the Packers situation, who do they have really to replace Rashawn Gary on that defensive line? And that's a you traded, like I said, you traded like Kenny Clark last year in the Micah Parsons deal. You really don't have anyone up front that can stop the run.
Yeah, they've kind of leveraged their whole D line into Micah Parsons at this point, so it'd be interesting to see how that works out.
But we'll see if that's worth it. I mean, Micah Parsons coming off that torn ACL. I mean, how good is he really going to be?
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely a valid concern, I'd say.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how those two teams face off in the next season.
Yeah, this should be good. And then moving over to the NBA, Celtics beat the Cavs 109 to 98. Jayson Tatum back. Are the Celtics true championship contenders?
I mean, in my opinion, yes. And that's not something I would have said a week ago. But the way they've been playing, I think yesterday they were blowing out the Cleveland Cavaliers by 20 at halftime in Cleveland, by the way. And this comes as the Detroit Pistons, they've lost four straight games. We'll get to that in another segment of the show. But right now, looking at the standings, the Celtics right now, 2.5 games back from the Pistons. They could probably catch them with the form Detroit's on right now. But and I would have said this if I wouldn't have said this if the New York Knicks hadn't struggled like they have the past couple games. Albeit it's a tough schedule for them right now, but I think the Knicks are their biggest competition, and they would probably play in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. I think the Celtics, they're obviously a great team. It'll be interesting to see where they end up. I did not think Tatum would be back this early, especially.
Hmm.
So it's definitely a big win for them.
I mean, with him, Jaylen Brown, he had 23, 9, and 18 yesterday. But then I want to talk about the return game for Jayson Tatum for a second. So looking at the box score for that game, Jayson Tatum, he had 15 points, 12 rebounds, nearly had a triple double, just 3 assists away from that. Still in 3 for 8 from 3 point range, 6 for 12 from the field. In 27 minutes of action, I thought when the reports are that he was playing, I thought he would be minutes restricted to like 15 minutes. But no, he went
Yeah,
full
exactly. He
workload.
played pretty much fully. Yeah, that was what was most surprising to me as well.
It's like he never left. And I mean, I didn't expect him to be this good this soon. But if he can carry this momentum into the playoffs, I think the Celtics might be the team to beat in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the way the Celtics have been playing, and then now you had Jayson Tatum, their best player, possibly on top of that. That's big.
And looking at the schedule for the Celtics next two games, you got San Antonio and OKC on the road. Those games will be on the stream schedule. How do you think the Celtics gonna fare against those two teams?
Yeah, that'll be a good test for sure. Some great teams from the Western Conference, and we'll see. Wembanyama is going to be a tough matchup for the Celtics, but they do have good center depth now. I think they'll be able to make it happen.
And their center depth, it did take a little bit of a hit with Vucevic now out until late March with
I
that
didn't realize that.
ring finger injury. But in my opinion, if the Celtics are to make the NBA Finals, they're going to play either one of these teams, San Antonio or OKC, in the finals.
Yeah, that's very probable, I'd say.
And then we'll move on to our team, the Orlando Magic. Had a great weekend this weekend on Saturday, beating the Minnesota Timberwolves on the road 119 to 92. And then back that up at Pfizer Forum in Milwaukee, beating the Bucks 130 to 91. Magic have now they've won their last four games, and then they play Cleveland on Wednesday night. Are the Magic hitting their stride at the right time?
Yeah, I mean, undoubtedly, the Magic have been looked a lot better these past few weeks, getting big wins, not only wins, but big wins
Oh
by
yeah.
typically double-digit figures. So hopefully, this translates well into the playoffs. On the road, that's something Magic have struggled with in the playoffs a little bit. So I'm excited to see how that works out.
And the test will be if we play Cleveland, then we play Washington. We better beat Washington at home. We cannot slip up against them. Then the big
Yeah,
test is
for sure.
Miami, who have won five straight games, and they're right on our tail right now. I
Yeah, exactly. That's the type of team that we need to beat to keep them off of our tail.
and then we're lucky that Philadelphia is starting to teeter at the right time for us. They're 4 of 6 in their last 10 games. But another team, Toronto, for that fifth spot. We're a game back from them right now. So, and they play.
Yeah.
Let me see. They play Tuesday against Houston. That could be a loss for them. And if we get that fifth seed, we can play Cleveland. I think that would be a better matchup for us in the first round than if we play the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really mind either one. I think they're both pretty similar. And hey, maybe at this rate, we'll even jump the Cavs. We'll see.
I mean, the Cavs right now and they're
We're,
okay right now.
yeah,
But
we're 4 games back right now. So,
I would say I think Toronto would be the team to jump.
oh yeah, we're definitely. I think if we keep where we're our pace and the Raptors keep their pace, we should jump the Toronto Raptors, no problem.
And surprisingly, down there, the Atlanta Hawks are the 9 seed. They've won 6 straight games, surprisingly.
Yeah, the Hawks have been kind of a surprisingly decent team this year. They lose Trey Young and they didn't really miss a step.
And then the Hornets, they're surprised this year. They're also hot, even though they lost their last 2 games, but
Yeah,
still
they've been
solid.
hot. I feel like their record doesn't communicate how well they've been doing lately. I think they started off a little bit slow, but yeah, they've been doing pretty well. I think they'll be a team that you don't want to play in the play-in.
I actually want to see the title odds because I thought this was a glaring title prediction according to DraftKings. Let me pull that up here. So right now, okay, the Hornets are tied with the Magic. As of yesterday, they were ahead of the Magic.
Wow,
Magic were plus 20,000 odds. The Hornets were plus 10,000.
that's pretty crazy. Yeah,
Even though they're nowhere near each other in the standings.
yeah. I
But
mean, the Hornets would still have to win the play-in twice.
yes, I think that was in case the Hornets actually made the playoffs somehow or like got up to the 8 seed where you only had to win one game to get to the playoffs. But then you'd play Boston. I just didn't see how New Orleans or
Yeah.
Charlotte would have been uh up there in terms of getting ahead of the Magic, even ahead of teams like Toronto, who are in the
Yeah, that's
fifth
pretty
spot.
bad.
I mean, I guess a lot of people are buying high on Charlotte right now, which is understandable, but
Yeah, it's understandable, but they still got a long way to go.
I will see. A lot of teams in the East are hot right now, and it looks like Philadelphia is collapsing as we speak. Also, Detroit and Toronto, maybe. This is the chance the Magic need to really pull themselves into that playoff contention spot.
Yeah, for sure. Heating up right at the right times is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Well, moving on, Lakers beat the Knicks 110 to 97. We had mentioned this a little bit before. Knicks
Mhm.
might be starting to get into some trouble. What's your thoughts?
So on Friday night, we did the Knicks game against the Denver Nuggets where they won 142 to 103. But that was really an OG Anunoby game. Who had 34 points in that one. Shot 11 for 17 from the field, 6 for 11 from three-point range. But Jalen Brunson, he had only 9 points in that one, 3 rebounds, 15 assists. He went 3 for 13 from the field against Denver. And against the Lakers in that loss, uh, Jalen Brunson, he had, let me pull it up here. Okay, decent game, 24 points. He bounced back, but you had players like Miles Bridges didn't score a bucket, went 0 for 6 from the field. And then OG Anunoby had that monster game, only 13 points against the Lakers on Sunday afternoon. I think this is a bump in the road for them here. They played OKC where they nearly won that game. I think they trailed by a lot and then they had a huge third quarter. In fact, I think they scored as many points as they scored in the first half in that game. They scored in the third quarter in that game. So they really brought it back. But the next schedule coming up, they got the Clippers, Jazz, and Pacers on the road. I think you can win all three of those games and get back on track.
Yeah, for sure. An easy stretch, much needed for the Knicks. I think that'll be big for their morale as well as just getting them back on track, like you said, in terms of win-loss.
And then after that, you come back to MSG for Sunday night basketball against the Golden State Warriors before hosting the Pacers at home. And yes, they lost to the Pacers last year in the conference finals, but Pacers did
A
a
much
full
different
180 this
team.
season
Yeah, I mean,
without
without
Tyrese Halliburton.
Halliburton, they haven't been doing much.
Then after that, Brooklyn, Washington, New Orleans. You got a cupcake schedule around NCAA March Madness time. So those are games you have to take advantage of and win.
Yeah, exactly.
And then for the Lakers, let me see where they are. Fifth seed right now in the Western Conference. I think they're okay right now. They got Minnesota on Tuesday night at 11. We are streaming that game. It's going to be a late night, but you got Chicago, Denver. Obviously, the West is tougher than the Eastern Conference, but I think did LeBron James miss the game against the Knicks?
I'm not sure. He's been kind of in and out.
But I saw a stat recently where LeBron James and the Lakers, or Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves, are better for the Lakers than when LeBron's on the floor. And yes, LeBron was out. So this offseason, I think the LeBron's definitely going to move on. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think it's very likely.
But we'll see. And then moving on back to football. You want to take this one?
Yeah, back to football. Dolphins are releasing Tua Tagovailoa during a record $99 million cap hit. I mean, that's a pretty crazy number. I think 70 million or so of it's even in 1 year alone. So I think it's the largest cap hit ever. So what's your thoughts on that? Is this a smart move or is this too far?
I mean, it's not a move that you wanted to do if you're the Dolphins, but you got a new coach coming in and Jeff Hafley, new offensive coordinator Bobby Slowick. I mean, it's just a bad situation all around. The last GM really screwed them up here getting that extension done, which at the time he was playing at a good level. I mean, 2022 he led the greatest show on surf is what people called them back then. I think Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle each went over 1,000 yards receiving in uh that season. But for for Tua, I think it was just those two guys especially when Tyreek Hill got hurt. Tyreek or Tua didn't really look the same in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that team just lacked motivation. Mike McDaniel was not the guy to be the leader of the team. Great coordinator, bad coach.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I mean, I'd go back to even before they traded for Tyreek Hill. Even though yes, Tua was a young quarterback who still needed to learn, and yes, Brian Flores wasn't really the guy who really wanted Tua, but he didn't really look the way he did against with Tyreek Hill. If you take Tyreek Hill out of the lineup, it showed last season.
Exactly.
But I think, and also the concussion factor as well, with those two concussions back-to-back weeks early 2022. I think that's really what did him in.
Yeah, I'd say
And then
so.
that other concussion he had, I think it was either in 23 or 24. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I forget. He has concussions just about every year, it seems.
I think it was 20. It's 24, I think, because he didn't really have any concussion issues in 25. He was just not very good in 2025, his final season.
Exactly.
But
Well, good.
I heard a potential suitor for him in Atlanta. What do you think of that move, potentially?
I don't know how much I like that. I think you got to stick with Penix, and for this season, I think just they're just gonna have to tank. I think, unless maybe a 1 year deal, make that work.
I think so. And then in case Michael Penix gets hurt, you can put him in with another injury-prone quarterback.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna interrupt with some breaking news. As Super
Oh
Bowl
yeah.
MVP Kenneth Walker is signing with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh no. This
Giving
makes the
Mahomes a run game is gonna be tough.
uh you just when we thought the Chiefs couldn't get better. This is a huge loss for Seattle. I mean, I guess they're gonna go with Charbonnet in the backfield, but
Yeah, maybe they'll find somebody else to do kind of a dual back because I'm not sure Charbonnet can be that guy as a number one solo back.
it showed when during the NFC Championship game he could be, and in the Super Bowl when he won MVP of that game. But that's a big loss for the Seahawks, huge gain for the Chiefs. Just when we thought they couldn't get better.
Yep.
Oh
Giving Mahomes
man.
a run game. It'll be interesting to see where they are this season. Maybe they'll get some receivers here too as well.
And we'll see. Do they say the compensation?
Not sure. Yeah, I don't think the contract's been announced yet, but he
Yeah.
is there.
I mean, not good for if you wanted the Chiefs dynasty to fall. But
Yeah, exactly. But at least for the Bears, doesn't affect us too much.
I don't know. This really helps us tremendously in
Yeah.
all seriousness because one less player to deal with in the NFC.
Yeah, exactly. But moving on, we've got the Ravens acquiring Max Crosby. Think they're going to be Super Bowl contenders next year?
Oh yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, I think Jesse Minter got his guy there, getting Max Crosby in, and in my opinion, Max Crosby, he's one of the best players to be in the NFL the past couple of years. I stuck on those bad teams for all those years. I'm looking at it right now. According to DraftKings, the Ravens are plus 950, uh, plus 950 to win the Super Bowl. That is second in the AFC, or excuse me, not second, tied for first in the AFC with the Buffalo Bills, which I don't know how they're that high, in my opinion. But I think this does put them over the top. That's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think it definitely gives their defense a boost and makes them scary.
Oh yeah, I mean they already have Kyle Hamilton and with in the secondary, Roquan Smith in the middle, and then you also have Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry on offense. I think the Ravens might be the most complete team in the AFC.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, they've got good guys on both sides of the ball, which is nice.
But we'll see if Tyler Luke can make the kicks that he needs to.
That's true.
That was the sole reason that they missed the playoffs last year.
Yeah, pretty much. That's right.
And then moving on to our other headlines, some more trades. Dolphins trade Minka Fitzpatrick to the Jets. What do you think of that move?
Yeah, I think that's just another salary dump, probably.
Well, that's for sure. That we all know that they need to because of that Tua Tagovailoa cap hit. And then Alec Pierce staying with the Colts, 4 years, 116 million. Is that a good deal for them?
Honestly, I don't think so. Alec Pierce is a guy, he's not very versatile with his game. He kind of just deep threat. 29 million seems like a lot, but it's good to bring back their guy. I think they've brought back Daniel Jones on a tender as well, so at least they get that offense some consistency.
Oh yeah, you made that point about that deep threat. It was the same thing with Tyreek Hill, who was mostly a deep threat. And considering that circumstance, he definitely overpaid. In case he loses a step, that's going to be a bad contract for the Colts, maybe. And then speaking of the Chiefs, we know Kenneth Walker just signed with them, and Travis Kelce is going to return for his 14th season. Is that a
Yeah, that's pretty surprising. I'm not gonna lie.
how do you think he's going to do?
I don't know. I mean, the past few years of Kelsey just hasn't quite been the same. Seems like he's a little too focused off the field with the new celebrity status and everything, and hasn't quite been performing to his typical expectation.
And there's an old saying. I think it was. I'm not going to quote who it is. I forgot who, but I heard it somewhere where if you have 1 foot out the door in terms of retirement, then you're already retired.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then moving on to basketball, the Heat win their fifth straight game against the Detroit Pistons, who lose their fourth straight game. We did touch on this a little bit earlier, but how good can the Heat be?
I mean, I guess they could be okay. I'm not sure they can beat some of these teams in the playoffs, though, you know. They're heating up at a good time, though, but they just don't quite have the talent, I think.
And right now, they won the games they're supposed to win, even beating the Rockets at home, and then beating the Nets twice. That's good when you have them in back-to-back games. But yeah, I think that Heat Magic game on Saturday night's going to be a big one for sure. And
Yeah,
then
I'd say so.
college basketball, 6 teams have qualified for the NCAA tournament already. Some of the notable ones, Queens, are making their debut in their first season eligible after winning the A-Sun tournament. Northern Iowa, first appearance in the tournament in 10 years, win the Missouri Valley Conference. And then for the first time since 1994, Tennessee State qualified for the NCAA tournament.
Hmm.
So, do you think either of these teams can win?
I mean, you never know. We do see the Cinderellas usually at least every few years, if not every year nowadays. I feel like we at least have one. So I'm not going to leave any team out, but I'd say the odds are unlikely.
And then some in other news, Tampa Bay just signed Kate Otten to an extension, so be returning to Tampa Bay.
Solid pickup, one of the better tight ends in the league.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Then women's college basketball potential one seeds Texas and UCLA win the SEC and Big Ten. UConn plays later on tonight against Villanova for the Big East title. Right now, according to DraftKings, UConn is minus 270 odds to win the women's tournament. Do you take them or the field?
Um, do I take them in the field? Honestly, I'm not too sure. So I think UConn's got the good chance. I think they've won every game, right?
Yes, undefeated as of now.
Yeah,
They're
so
probably
it's
going to be
possible.
undefeated tonight. And then
Yeah.
in hockey, this is a big storyline. Two teams top the Atlantic Division in the Eastern Conference. The Tampa Bay Lightning, or excuse me, the Buffalo Sabres being the Tampa Bay Lightning, 8-7. Right now,
Wow.
in terms of the standings, Buffalo overtook Tampa Bay for that one seed in the Atlantic Division, and they're only second behind the Carolina Hurricanes in the Eastern Conference. They would return to the NHL playoff, to the Stanley Cup playoffs for the first time since 2010. How good can the Buffalo Sabres really be?
I mean, yeah, I guess they could be good. We'll have to see. Their
Oh, yeah, that's
offense definitely strong. Maybe need to improve their goalkeeping, it sounds like.
for sure. I, I'm not sure. Let me check if Vasilevsky did start last night for Tampa Bay. I know it was Johansson who started, allowed 8 goals. They gave Vasilevsky the night off, I guess. But that is a glaring score. But I think the NHL playoffs might be good this year. I'll usually get into hockey around this time of year.
Yeah.
And then we'll do something we haven't done. There were 23 red cards handed out at the end of a soccer game in Brazil yesterday in a I think it was a State Cup final in Minas Gerais, Brazil. So 23 red cards in a massive brawl. So let me get the full scoop on this. So Cruzeiro had beaten Atlético Mineiro in the Mineiro Championship final, and a mass brawl erupted seconds before the final whistle and resulted in 23 red cards. What's your reaction to that?
Yeah, I mean, 23 red cards is pretty crazy. Sure, there'll be some sort of punishment for that.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I think this was the state tournament that it was wrong. 'Cause Brazil has a weird state tournament kind of thing where this wasn't a league game. So I'm think the league will probably get involved as well. So what happened
Yeah,
was
it's possible.
goalkeeper kept out a shot from a Cruzeiro player on the rebound, tackled by a Cruzeiro midfielder. Goalkeeper got up and went after the guy that one of the other guys, pinning him to the ground with his knee. So players from both staffs rushed over to intervene while security tried to separate them. Um, the game was halted for 8 minutes. The question is, how do you finish the game really when you have 30 seconds left? And you have 23 red cards. You have no players left. But we'll see what happens there. And then we'll go on to what we're watching for this weekend. I'll start this one off. It's going to be, for me, Utah versus Cincinnati in the Big 12 tournament on Tuesday. Reason for that? The winner of that game will take on the UCF Knights, and it's a game that we must win in order to make the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I'll definitely be rooting for Utah in that one.
But Utah, I think they're the 16th seed.
Yeah, it's going to be an unlikely win, but definitely a much
Hopefully.
easier team than Cincinnati, who's been hot lately.
And the thing about Cincinnati, if we do end up playing them, we must not lose to them because they're right there on the bubble with us.
Yeah,
If Cincinnati goes on a run in the Big 12 tournament, that could leapfrog us out of the NCAA tournament. We cannot lose to them for a third time this season.
we
But
beat them once. We're 1-1 this season against them.
oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we did win at home, but yeah, definitely need to get the win.
That 1 point win against Cincinnati, and the game we lost to them, we were actually streaming that game 92-72 blowout up there in Cincinnati. We did not play well that game at all. But yeah, that's a game you have to win. That's for sure.
For sure.
And how about you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking out for NFL free agency. Not
Oh
necessarily a
yes.
game to watch, but something to watch, something to pay attention to. NFL free agency, one of my favorite times of the year.
Wait, is this trade breaking? Packers acquire Zaire Franklin. I could have sworn that
That
was
was from last week,
yeah.
or not last week, but yesterday, I think.
But yes, we'll see where everybody's gonna go. And as the early part of free agency is just starting, but that's gonna do it for us today. Make sure to stick around for breaking news. We'll be probably posting all day about that. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back for another episode on Friday. In the meantime, we got a busy stream schedule, culminating in the selection Sunday. We'll broadcast that live Sunday at 6, and then, but tonight the big game, the Denver Nuggets against the OKC Thunder. And last time those two teams played, Jokic got into the face of Lou Dort, who then got ejected from the game. That should be a good one tonight. But anyways, thank you guys for watching and have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.